Hello, I'm Elizabeth Hackford. I'm the Law of Attraction lady. Make a friend before you make a complaint. And here are two fundamental reasons why. Number one, if you make a friend before you make a complaint, then it's very handy that you already know the person if there's a reason that you need to make a complaint. Think of moving in next door to somebody new. The first thing you should do is pop over to your new neighbour and take a bottle of wine or a box of biscuits or some flowers just to say, hello, I'm your new neighbour. Because that means that your first contact with that person is a friendly gesture of goodwill. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not they're horrible neighbours or not, but just the fact that your first contact was a gesture of goodwill. It's a bit like you see the soccer players, particularly the Argentinians, when they start a football match, they always pass the ball back to the goalie, and it's a friendly pass, so that the goalkeeper's first touch of the ball is a friendly touch, not an aggressive goal coming from the enemy, from the opposition. It's the same principle. So make a friend before you make a complaint, because if you do have to make a complaint, that person already knows you and feels some goodwill towards you, so they might be much more accepting of your complaint. Now, the second fundamental reason is really interesting. It's the psychology of it. So I go to Bikram yoga at least once a week. I'm trying to do that for the rest of my life to keep healthy and keep my vibration high. It's always very good for clearing my head as well. And there's this guy in the yoga class, let's call him Thomas. And he always used to grunt and groan, and he would talk loudly in the studio when the class was finished and everyone's trying to relax and silence. And I used to find him very, very annoying. Of course, I never complained, because you just don't do that at yoga, but it was really irritating me. But then one day, now he was a guy who sweats a lot. Bikram yoga is hot yoga and everybody sheds sweat, and there's usually a pool of sweat underneath people. Now this particular guy, Thomas, left an absolute lake of water every time he did a session, bless him. And he would need about 20 towels to mop up the mess. And one day I happened to notice that there was a pile of towels for him that had been set aside by the staff. And he was still in the studio, so I picked them up and I took them to him, just as a gesture of goodwill. Here are your towels. And he was so grateful that when he had finished getting dressed, he bought me a carton of coconut water and gave it to me to say thank you. And I thought, that's so kind of him. And since then, he's sort of become a friend. Now, when I'm in the yoga class and I hear him grunting and groaning, it doesn't annoy me. It's the psychology, because I like him, because he's a friend. I don't mind at all. Isn't that interesting? When I didn't know him, when he was a stranger, his grunting annoyed me, but as soon as I got to know him, it didn't trouble me at all. And this is the same thing with when you're driving. If you're behind a very, very slow car, just imagine it's your grandma in front, and then you won't be honking your horn and aggressively trying to get past them. Imagine if you're at the gas station and the car in front of you, he's paying for the gas in front of you, and he turns around and says something, just a nice gesture to you, says something, makes a compliment on your dress or on your tie or something, and you get back into the car and you're following him up the road, and he's a very slow driver and he's very annoying. But because he made that compliment to you, you're actually much more tolerant of him. You might know someone in the office who's got a horrible laugh and they really annoy you and you don't know them very well. Go out with that person for a drink, and I guarantee once you become a friend of that person, you will love their laugh and it will make you laugh too. So the moral of the story is, make a friend before you make a complaint.